thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but a means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like to watch is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that is where I come in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. It is 12:13 in the morning on a Sunday. I did not film on Friday because I was doing this twist out style to my hair, and that took literally all evening and early into Saturday morning. Today I went to the grocery store to get some things because I tried making some online orders of delivery, and each time it just keeps pushing and pushing back the date that I'd be able to get my items. So we decided to go in person, and thankfully we went late enough in the evening that it wasn't really crowded, and everyone's been practicing social distancing and doing a very good job of that. So I was very happy that I was able to get in and get what I needed without having to worry about maneuvering around different people. So I decided to, after we got done, get started on the second kitty. If you watched my previous video, you saw that I worked on the tiny cat kit. Now that it's out of the package, you can see that it is from Mochimochi Land. So if you go to the website that I have linked below, you can look at other patterns and the different kits that they have available. And of course, I picked the cat one. I got this at a yarn shop when I was participating in the yarn crawl. And now we're going to work on the second one. And as you can see, I posted this guy on my Instagram account. This was the first one that I knit on Thursday night, and you know, you have your expectations versus reality moment here, where my kitty, it looks a little sad, I would say. Not my best work, but it was a really fun project, really tricky. So I'll let you guys know right now what's happening with the other cat. First, the image actually looks like a blue cat, but it is in fact this gray yarn that was measured out, and that could just be the lighting in the photo. So like last time, I am already done with the KFBs that I needed to make my increases for the main body, and then I'll just knit the body part and then do the decreases. I think I can manage doing the decreases while we're still here in person. And just to let you guys know, you have to do the legs separately, and this is just I-cord. Don't know if you guys can see it, but each foot and, well, I guess they're both feet on a cat. They don't really have hands, but the arm and leg of the cat are two I-cord chains that you run through the body so that the front paw sticks out on one side of the lower body and the back paw is of course on the back. So like this, it's just the I-cord here that comes through both sides, making sure I can see that you can see in the monitor what that looks like. And you do the same thing here. The ears are attached separately and the tail is attached separately, and these are by picking up stitches and knitting those. And the tail, of course, is another I-cord that's real. Okay, you can see it better when it's up against my shirt. And then the eyes, I'm pointing at the nose. The eyes, the two black eyes, the pink nose, and the white whiskers are embroidery on. I haven't done embroidery with knitting before, so I think for the second time around I'll have a better approach, because it doesn't really tell you how to do that, and I did not do a very good job of that. So we have to do rows 5 through 14 of just knit stitches, which I can do. I can manage that. And it has just been a gloomy spring day today. It was raining since yesterday. Thunderstorms. Where I live, it floods pretty easily when there's thunderstorms, so unfortunately, it's just a soggy mess outside right now. But I guess it works out because you really aren't supposed to be going anywhere anyway, so all the more reason to stay inside and knit. So I hope wherever you are, your day is good, or your day was good, depending on when you see this. Mine was pretty much spent sleeping. I literally went to bed around 5 in the morning, somewhere around there, after I finished with doing my hair, and woke up around, I was off and on out of sleep, probably close to about 4 this evening. I know it was not a very productive day, but I did get some stuff done. Mainly this trip to the grocery store, because I was trying to get home delivery, but the last time I got it, all of the things that I put in my cart, like my virtual cart, were practically out of stock. So I didn't have that much on my list that came in, and we were running low, and tried to do it again and saw that the delivery dates were getting closer to like Tuesday and Wednesday, when I needed things like tonight, tomorrow. So we are just knitting around. I had a lot of, I guess because I had so much time to sleep, I had a lot of dreams, you could say. So that was pretty interesting. So we just did one. Do that again. But yeah, check in with you. Let me know how you're doing. Have you started any new projects knitting wise, or any other types of crafts? Have you just been hanging around, reading, taking care of any housework? What was your day like? How has your week been? Friday was pretty busy for me, actually. Also why I decided to just do my wash day instead of film, because I had a very long web meeting with some people. I'm a secretary for a group, so I had to take notes the whole time, and it was a 2-hour meeting. So that was pretty intense. And it was webcam, and Kabu decided to jump on the back of my chair toward the end to give me some attention. I don't know if anyone saw it based on what view they have. So like if you do gallery view, then you can see everybody's webcam at once. And then I forget the name of the other view, but only the people talking, it shows their webcam. Spotlight maybe, I forget what it's called. And I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna visit us now. But as soon as that was done, I had this like crazy rapid email chain between a couple of my coworkers that were not in that meeting, and I didn't even have time to post the minutes of the 2-hour one, because it was like time for me to get off of work. Ooh. Okay, the tip of my DPN just came off. I feel gypped. These are Knitter's Pride carbons, guys. What's going on here? I would say I would super glue that back together, but I don't know. I have to see. I think I have some super glue. I was really surprised that just happened. and for some reason I'm not that mad. I feel like I would be mad considering I bought these thinking they were a lot less expensive than they are when I got them at the yarn shop. Actually, I picked these carbons up at the same yarn shop I got the kitty kit from. And I want to say I bought them because I looked at the instructions and it said you needed size 1 needles, and I didn't have any at home at the time that I felt were sturdy enough, because I have my pony ones, but they're just plastic. But yeah, so that meeting was crazy, a lot of emails. Right before the meeting I had hopped in the shower and put my hair up because it was still wet, and decided to just work on it when I got done instead of finishing the cat. But I now have at least another week of working from home. My supervisor doesn't think anything's gonna change anytime soon, and I honestly don't think it will either, but we haven't heard anything from our employer as far as anything changing, anything going back into effect or back to normal. But then again, you know, what is normal these days? I have no idea. I will say I am excited about showing you guys the start of the second panel and the Jolie Mimi cardigan. I'm just about finished with the skein of yarn that I've been working with, and I've been knitting during meetings where I don't have to actually be visible, where I'm more just listening and talking instead of typing. Kind of like a hands-free situation, and I can get quite a few rows in, and when I'm uploading the videos that I'm editing, I can knit then too, which is nice. And I have a few more coming up too, this one included, that you guys will see. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I don't think I'll be filming because I just want to do a little bit of housework, just kind of knit off camera a little bit, and get things ready for the next time that I film with you guys. I also want to try to research about doing this whole YouTube live. I'm still pretty jazzed about the idea of working on my puzzle with you guys watching me work on my puzzle. I'm trying to think if I'd want to do it downstairs at the table or in here, because the table, thankfully the table doesn't get messed with by the cats. Like, they don't jump on it. Of course, if it's like in the middle of the room and we clear it because we have company coming over and we want it more like a dining room style, then it's like they treat it like a whole new piece of furniture, which it's like it's the same table, it's just been moved. And mainly it's Koji, he has a hard time understanding that it's still a table and he shouldn't jump on it. But when it's in the corner where we usually keep it, like when you guys saw me working on the card I was doing for my partner, where it's currently placed in our living room, they don't bother it at all. It's just when it's in the center of the room that they get all weird about it. But let me know in the comments if you have pets that, you know, don't like change. If you rearrange your living room or move things around in your your home, do they get really weirded out by that? We're making progress. We're on round 9, and we have 5 more to go. And at least until we can start decreasing. So, just so you guys, well, if you guys want to know, when I was at the store, I've had in my mind, I was been determined to try the plant-based meat alternatives for like ground beef and things like that. I like tofu and seitan and tempeh, forget how you call it, but I like eating stuff like that. And so I was thinking, because the store by me carries Beyond Meat and this other plant-based like ground beef alternative. And so when I was at the store, they had a sale on the other brand, 2 for $7 I think it was, so I bought 2 packages of those, and I bought a package of the Beyond Meat because I wanted to try it out. So I'm really excited about that. But I think it could be easy for me to go like vegetarian if the food I'm eating has the flavor and fullness effect of what I get when I eat meat. And I generally don't eat meat like as much as some other people probably do. Like I said before, I could eat like a box of crackers and be happy with that, or some chips or something. Like, I don't, carbs anyway, like carbs are my friend. I'm totally fine with that, but as far as like a hearty meal, sometimes it helps if I have meat. But lately I've been doing a lot with like seafood and tofu and stuff like that, and so it's fine enough when I eat it, but then I do not always feel that full. Like, I feel full in the moment, but afterwards, like, my stomach is grumbling again. And that probably could just be that I need to incorporate other like fulfilling foods. So let me know if, I think at least one of you I know is a vegan, but if you are vegetarian, which is something I think I could manage more, did you, and even if you are vegan, like, how did you transition into that? I don't think I'll totally X out meat from my life because I do enjoy it, but as far as being more healthful, even though I still eat a lot of bad things, just to have like lighter meals essentially, to take out some of that heavy meat and things like that and add to it. How did you transition into either a more plant-based diet or just go 100% plant-based? One, what was your reasoning? What is your reason? Is it health? Is it environment? Is it ethically thinking about the treatment of the animals that are often in mass-produced situations, or even because there are like free roaming and like more sustainable options than mass farming? But your option, your perspective, what made you decide to get a lot of the animal products out of your life? And if you're a 100% meat eater, as I currently, well, not 100%, but still eat meat, but incorporate more plants, is it health? Is it ethics? what was your reasoning? I would like to know, just to kind of get some perspective. One of my really good friends, she is vegetarian, and she has been a vegetarian since she's been since the age of 4. One day, I remember she told me the story because we've been friends since 6th grade, and I was asking because I found out that she was when I went to her house, and I was like, oh. I mean, I didn't know anyone who was a vegetarian, so I was like, really, like, what is this? And I asked her, like, why don't you eat meat? How did your mom, because, you know, your mom would be like your boss, how come your mom lets you not eat meat? And her mom's a vegetarian too, and she's like, I asked my mom when I was little, like, where does this come from? And she told me it's like a dead animal, and she said, okay, that's it, I don't want it anymore. And she would refuse to eat any of the meat that her mom would make for her. So she just said, okay, no more meat. And her mom followed suit. So she's been vegetarian since she was like 4 or something like that. And I think at the time I thought that was crazy because I was little and I didn't know any better because, you know, my family ate meat. My cousin, though, doesn't eat red meat like pork or beef. She only eats chicken and fish. And that was more because she was dating a person who didn't for their religious reasons, and she dated this person a long time, so she modified her diet to agree with their diet choice. And after they broke up and she tried to eat red meat again, it just didn't agree with her, so she hasn't done it. I think once when she was pregnant she had a craving for a hamburger and sorely regretted it after that, but no, she does not eat red meat. And I don't eat that much of it either, except for like bacon, the occasional hamburger. Gyros are really good. I love gyro meat. And what's something else red meat that I eat? Sausage, breakfast sausage. Oh, and bratwurst. So that's not a chicken bratwurst. So those are like those meat categories I really like. I don't really like steak. Don't eat lamb just because they're cute. Yeah. But, oh, ground beef, yeah, for like spaghetti and stuff, but often not really. Alright, so we are just all the way around now. We can start our decreases. So let us look at how many we have to do. Get an idea of the time. Oh, actually, you know, my battery's almost dead and we have 5 minutes left. So let me swap you out and then we'll continue on. Now that the battery has been switched out and I sat down and realized I didn't turn the mic on, turned it back on, we are ready to start our decreases. So we need to, let me get our instructions open again. Oh, I'm kidding. It was 5 through 18, not 5 through 14. I don't know why I'm thinking. So I have 4 more rounds to do. So let's just keep going here before we can do our decreases. And, yeah, that is exactly why. One of the many reasons these are not tutorials, because you don't want to listen to me. So I obviously don't know what I'm doing or how to pay attention. And I just chat and chat and chat. But here we are. And yeah, I'm hoping that doing it a second time now, I will have a better looking kitty cat than the first one. But it's still cute. It's just doesn't look like the picture, and I'm sad because I didn't make it look all professional looking, but I'm sure that comes with some practice. I just was having some expectations because it's so little. It's like, what could I do wrong? But speaking of doing things wrong, while I'm knitting these last 4 rounds, let me tell you about why this little kit is tricky. If you don't have dexterity, or you have any kind of joint pain or difficulty with either vision or maneuvering like little tiny things like this is going to be hard. I spent a good maybe hour before I filmed, after I realized I had to KFB and stuff, when I had cast it on, because you only cast on 2 stitches on each needle and you have to increase, and that alone was so hard just to not get the DPNs all twisted. And so I had to rip my project out and start over a couple times because I kept twisting my needles. And when I would try to knit, because the stitches are tiny, they would slip off of the needles, especially when I was trying to do my first round of KFBs. That was a headache. Also, just because it is small, when you're like picking up stitches, it's kind of tricky to do that, and just maneuver with something so small and you can't really hold on to it very well and do what you need to do. So it's very cute, but it's also very difficult if you have bigger hands or just a harder time like holding on to things tightly, or seeing and working with like miniature stuff like this. So keep that in mind if you are interested in purchasing either this kit or any of like the really small ones. There are bigger sizes. They're all small in general, but this is probably one of like the micro sets, and then they have some that are a little bit larger in size, which would probably be easier to do. But I think for it being like a yarn buster project, if you have any like sock or lace weight yarn and you have this kit already, you could probably reuse the pattern more times per batch of yarn that you want to use. Or if you have worsted weight yarn and you want to just follow the same process but on a larger scale, I think it's pretty manageable. And it's so funny because I was thinking of all the other little kits I can make, like little pumpkins, little Christmas tree, little Easter eggs. And so like every holiday could have its own theme of knitted goods that I can set out on like my windowsill or put on my desk at work or something like that, just to kind of jazz things up. So I think we're at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 more. Let me know if you knit decorations. Do you not only make things to wear, but things to put around your house? I would be curious to know. That's what I was thinking of, maybe doing like some kind of knitted holiday tree or holiday bush or holiday something, because I have a lot of ornaments, but I don't keep a Christmas tree at home and don't know where to put them. Definitely not getting a tree because I have cats, and knowing how they feel about my dining table when it's out in the dining area, being its dining table self, I don't think I want to try getting a tree anytime soon. And plus I would get like a fake one to use all over and over again, but I don't know where to keep it when I'm not using it, and I'm just not like a big like fancy go all out with the lights and things. But if I have like some decorations to hang up, then I would love to put them on display. But I used to have a ficus. I may have told you guys about that really early on in the holiday season. I had a ficus, and I would put my ornaments on that. But as soon as Koji came along, there's my other cat, like Coco, who was my cat that passed away. When we first got him, he used it as like a stepping stool to get onto a countertop, but he stopped doing that immediately because we were keeping an eye on him better, knowing that he liked to do that. And Kabu wouldn't bother it, but Koji, I think because he came from the streets early on as a kitten, and that was, where he would do his business, is in the dirt. I think he was just in the habit of digging in it and peeing in it. So for a while when he was a kitten, he would do that, and I put like this plant cover. It looked like a shower cap, but it had a snap, and it would go around the trunk, and it had elastic that would hang around the pot part, and he'd still find a way to get into it and mess around. So the ficus ended up dying, and it was too bulky to try to save and move, so we ended up just throwing it out. But I was so sad because it was so cool, and it served as my Christmas tree. So Koji was naughty when he was a kitten. Oh. Also, here's not new, but here's a thing I noticed with this yarn, and I think that said they were using Cascade something. It's splitty. It doesn't help that these are tiny needles, but this yarn splits so easily. I don't know if Mochimochi Land uses different yarns per project, or if it's all the same yarn and they just measure it out for each project, but it pretty splitty. Okay, I think I'm at my 18. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay! Okay. So we made our 18. Now we can start to decrease. Let's go back to where we need to be. Yes. Knit 2 together, knit 2. I think I can manage that. But because it is little, it does get tricky. The smaller you go, the trickier it gets. Let me know if you have worked on a miniature kit like this before, or just followed a pattern that also required working with tiny yarn and tiny needles. There's this person who's in Australia. I forget her name, but her Etsy store is called like Tree Change Dolls, and she redesigns like Bratz dolls and Barbie dolls and things that have like a lot of makeup and stuff, and she'll wipe the paint off their faces and give them more like normal girl looking faces, just like very plain, very cute, no makeup, no frills, and she'll make like little feet for them, and her mom will knit new clothes for the little dolls, and they're so cute, and it's a good way to repurpose those fashion dolls and make them look more realistic to little girls. So they have like freckles, some of them have like cute little gap in their teeth, and just thinking about like miniatures like that, making miniature doll clothes is something, I guess, but I have not. I used to make doll clothes out of old socks when I was a kid, but I literally would just like cut them and cut holes for sleeves, and now it's a skirt, or it's a dress, or it's a shirt, like simple stuff like that, but nothing crazy. Alright, so we did our first KFB, and now what do we do? Or, not KFB, knit two together. Okay, so now this. But yeah, there was this, this fair festival thing I would go to when I was a kid, and there was one shop that sold hand-sewn Barbie clothes and other little doll clothes too, like for bigger dolls. And every year we'd go, and that shop lady was there. My aunt would let me buy a couple outfits, and that was just so awesome. They were so unique. Nothing I would ever find from like getting them in the store, and it was really fun. Then one year I went and looking for her, and she wasn't there. That was kind of sad. Alright, so now that we've done that, what do we do now? We have to... Okay, so now we just knit two together, knit one. Also something I can manage. Ugh. So, do any of you guys notice, oh, one, if you have a Facebook, have you noticed if you've been getting a lot more ads about, what would I call it? Exercise stuff? Fitness, yes. Fitness things. Either fitness things to lose weight, fitness things to exercise, supplements, smoothies, outfits, plans, equipment. I have been bombarded with ads, and I made a joke to my friends online that I wonder if they're revving up these kinds of ads because they know most people are cooped up. Oh, I did again. Cooped up in the house and are getting fat because we're eating snacks and we're not able to go do things we usually would do. So they're like, while you're sitting at home, why don't you do some workout routines? There's like this one I see, it's called, it's a lady and she's doing like, it's called bar exercises, like ballet. Well, it's not ballet, but it's like ballet inspired exercises where you're strengthening your core, and it's a lot of stuff where you're squatting and kicking, and I just looking at the videos like make my knees hurt because my knees are horrible and like really bad, like they sound bad when I walk, and they've always kind of been bad even when I was like in high school and stuff. My brother and I have always had really bad knees. I don't know why, but just looking at that, I was like, that is not going to help me at all. That looks like death. And then I saw like a Shanti thing, and I used to have, I still have it, have like a Shanti fitness tape, and that, it's insane. It is truly very intense, and I don't think I'd be able to do it anymore because my knees have gotten worse since the time I was using that tape. But I'm like, where are all these ads coming from? I saw this ad about a squat machine that has like a hydraulic or like an air pressure piston thing to help you like while you squat, to help you get back up, I guess, and I'm just like, weird. Very smart, but weird, and I did not ask for that, but I also understand that Facebook is free because people are paying for ad space, and I still use it as a way to connect with my friends that I don't live next to. Okay. Oh, whoopsie. I missed a spot. I should be putting some stuff in here, right? I can't close this up until it has stuffing inside, which is okay. It's still a big enough hole that I can get the stuffing inside, but I should have done that before I did my extra decrease round. But I still have so much stuffing left, so they do give you a lot. Oh yeah, and let me show you how much of the orange yarn I have. So even after knitting the first kitty that's orange, I still have all of this yarn left. So I was really like conservative with how much slack I was giving myself before I finished the project, but I'm fine. And now I have even more fluff, so if I, for some crazy reason, wanted to do another one, I think I could easily make another cat. Even with the scrap yarn, I could probably make, well, I'd probably be pushing it, but I might be able to get 2 kitties and have one that's like a bi-colored cat, like half gray, half orange. So you definitely have enough, more than enough stuffing for it. Cool. I might make this one a little bit fatter. Just a little bit. It's not quite the same roundness as his friend. There we go. Whoop. Yeah, that's cute. I love it. Alright, so now that we have stuffed the kitty cat, I can do what I was supposed to do. Oh, okay, that was the end. Okay, yeah, so just gotta close this up. That's easy enough. So here we are, getting ready to close up. Where is, oh, here we go. But yes, moral of, well, not really moral of the story, but point of my story is that these ads are onto us, guys, and I feel like I'm being attacked. And while it's stuffed up, it's actually kind of tricky to finish it because, oh, yep, see, split a yarn again. Let's get that better. Alright. Let's work on this one. You know, thinking like, I wanted to get, another stitch counter that locks. And now that I know that these DPNs are not the best, I don't know if it was just a fluke or if I'm gonna lose another tip of one of these. I might want to look see if I could buy some more once everything is kind of calmed down. Don't want to buy anything yet that's crazy purchase beyond, you know, the necessities. And as much as I wish I could say yarn is a necessity, at this point it's not for me. And I want to say, considering all of the ads I've been seeing to buy yarn because you're in the house and you're able to work on some hobbies, maybe. But if you're like me, you still have all these crazy meetings to participate in each day. But I was like, oh, you know, all these cool shops are offering so many discounts on stuff, but I just cannot bring myself to spend anything on any yarn or any yarn goods because I don't really know what's gonna happen. And I'd be pretty mad if I had purchased a lot of yarn and need to like still make sure I can pay all my bills and stuff. Okay. Now we have all the rest of the stitches we need. This is going to be weird. I may or may not have been recording the entire time I realized I may or may not have been recording. So if it was more like the film cut out while I was still working on my rounds of this, great. I finished and I finished closing off the front of the kitty cat. But if my recording wasn't going at all, you guys missed the whole part where I came back on the camera to make the rest of this cat. And I don't know what had happened, but I will tell you, it is 1:11 in the morning and we're just gonna roll with it. So if you missed that part, I am sorry, but I was knitting my rounds, I did my decreases, made a little peanut here. So we're gonna continue on, and now that I have finished making this whole body, I can work on adding some of the other elements to it. And one of those elements happens to be making the ears. So if I remember what I was doing last time, I need to pick up some stitches, and I already made the legs, so I don't have to worry about that, but I need to pick up some stitches and knit the ears. Oh wait, no, not the ears yet. I need to make the eyes, because the eyes are gonna tell me where to put the ears. So it says eyes with black. Okay, so I have black in here. Oh, and I don't need my needle anymore for a little while. Now, the first time when I was trying to knit the eyes, I ran my yarn in to the front. So this is where we have like a little lemon top poking out of the front. I did the eyes through the front and wrapped the needle through and pulled it back out. Now, doing that, I ended up with yarn kind of sticking out of like the sides where I cut it, and it was kind of weird. So I was thinking in my head, how do I do embroidery to get the look that I want? So this time I'm going to try to put a knot in the yarn and then run it through twice, just a tiny, tiny knot so it catches on the underside. We'll see. I have no idea. So we'll see if this crazy idea works. Because if it's just enough just to catch, it doesn't have to like pop out, but just to hold its place so I can run the yarn through a second time. I think that'll work. Here's hoping. And then I'm using the whole thing because I'm like, I'm scared. Alright, so I have to place it like certain amount. How do we want this to go? We could go like that. So I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be crazy. Like, how do I do it to get it to go in? Alright, alright. I think I got it. Trying to like weave it so that the knot of the yarn gets stuck inside and doesn't come out. Oh darn it. This is like, what am I doing? I just want it to get stuck in on the other side of the stitch. There. Then if I can get it, nope. I'm trying to figure out how to do, okay, here we go. I'll stick it in the other way. I think that might, if I just use the sharp part or the non-sharp part to poke it through, maybe that'll work. Just like stab the knot through the stitches. Maybe. Or not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I just want it to look better than the other one. Oh, wait. Maybe if I get some slack and pull it, then I can pull the other part back through? No idea. This is like surgery. What have I done? has to go right back the way it came. Okay, maybe if I... This is not going to be the way I wanted it, but if I cut that bit, then I can pull it just enough. I gotta pull the right one then, don't I? Oh man. That was a fail. Okay. I don't know how to do it, guys. I want it to be pretty, but I can't figure out how to loop. There must be some magical way to loop it through so that I can get both lines horizontal without any yarn coming through like an open edge. Or oh, I lost him. Let me grab him. Okay. See, this is tricky. Trickier than it should be, right? Probably isn't as tricky as I'm making it to be, but because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm making it a lot more difficult than it should be. Okay, now how do I do it? Oh my gosh, why is it so hard? Okay, let's try this. I have another idea. And I'm going to see if it works, but it probably won't because I'm the one doing it. Because they have to be horizontal, not diagonal. And that's how I made the first one. And that's why I think it looked weird. I might just have to make it look like the other one because I can't figure it out. Nope, not working. Let's see if trusty YouTube can help me. Here we go. Face embroidery on knitted toys.
I'm here today to give you some tips on face embroidery on toys, and specifically I'm going to be talking about spud today. But these skills are transferable to any toy that you may be making. So here's spud, and here's his face, and as with any toy, you have this great built-in grid by your rows of knitting, and then the vertical lines too.
She sounds Midwestern.
So as you can see, I used on spud these vertical decreased lines all the way down to his nose, and then you can use the stitches going across here to make sure your eyes are lined up or whatever it might be. And then I used that gather up hole on the nose to embroider his nose and mouth right on. So instead of taking my finished spud course, it's the same similar lines, decrease lines that you would find on the Spud toy. Now, for Spud, I just use this regular black embroidery floss that you can pick up at any craft store. And for some of the toys in the Spud Toy Farm book, I did use this crocheting thread, crochet cotton number 10.
Yes.
Like on the cat, for example, and this is a thinner thread. So if you're looking for a little finer these features, you can always pick up some of that. Another quick thing to point out is that I've been really enjoying these a finer needle to do the face embroideries. I just find I have a little greater control. This is a regular yarn needle, and that's fine too.
I'll link to this person's channel too, Susan B. Anderson. And this was published on May 19th, 2011 is the video that I'm watching right now to see how the heck, if she can help me do this embroidery. I just want to know how to get the yarn through. You don't see it.
When I start a toy face embroidery and I want to secure the thread, here's a quick tip. Just go through one of the bars in the niche of these rows.
Oh.
And I pull the thread through. I tie a quick half knot. And now so I don't have to undo my other thread, I'll just thread it on this one. Then I thread that end in to a yarn needle and just thread that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go right back through where you came out and pull that end through and then pull that end, that knot right in so that you can see that knot. I'll show you how to get rid of that end. But then you're going to just trim off this.
Okay, okay.
Inside for you. All right, now to get rid of that, I'm going to come up and do two eyes. Now this decrease pattern's a little different than this one, but we'll show you basically. So now when I go back in and I come up to do the eye, spot, this will pull right in. Let's just turn that off. I know that was a slit or something when I grabbed it, but that will pull right. See there, now you can even
Okay. Yay, alright. This woman has saved my life. Now I know how I'm gonna do these. Alright, so basically okay, I'm gonna take this out now. She's saying that you need to secure your yarn somewhere further back with just a little knot. But my yarn's pretty thick, but you have to do it in a ditch, she said. So then I can run it back through. So we're gonna do that and hope for the best. And her yarn split too, so I don't feel so bad now. So let me run this back through. I'll pull it this way. Oh, go like that. Yay! Alright, so now that I know what to do, I will try that. So we just make our yarn little tail here. Whoop. Very splitty. Sorry, this isn't one of my more talkative videos. I am like really concentrating here. Alright, so I won't make it too far back because I don't want to run into anything, but I need to find a dip. Based on the dips. Okay. So I don't want it to go too far back because I still need to do a little bit of work in the back area, so I'll go about here. So she said to run it through, get a knot, tie your knot and pull that through. So I'm going to use this shorter piece for my embroidery so that I don't waste too much. And I'm going to line it up so it's still coming through the dip. Alright, I'm going to try. Now I'm going to run the side through that I want. It worked! Ah! I'm so happy! Yay! Oh my god, look at that! Here's where the yarn's coming out. The little knot's gone. And the part where the needle's coming out is where the eyeball needs to go. Hey! Oh, that's awesome. Now I can make an eyeball shape. Oh man, that is awesome. Oh, the magic. Okay, so now that I've done that, how am I gonna make it go away again? I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do... Actually, I could probably just cut that part. Ooh, and of course it's gonna roll away. Alright. So, now that I know how to do it, so happy. Oops. So now I'm just gonna like hide the little scraps that I had cut. Yeah. Cool. So now I just gotta do it on the other side. Here we have, it's a little bit blurry, but we do have the two eyes now, and now I have the extra string that I'm going to cut off and hide it somewhere. Just poking it back in. I think if the yarn was thinner, it would be hidden a lot better than it is, but just kind of looking at it on the side, you can barely see that there's a little bit of black poking out where the black string is coming from. So now that we have the eyes, we can do the ears. And the ears are pretty, well, they're not like super easy, but easier. Just have to pick up a few. Let me make sure I'm far back enough. So about 3. So this part gets tricky because it is tiny. It's kind of flailing around, and I need to pick up 4 stitches. Oh my gosh. 1. 2. This is so tricky. It's almost like you want an extra person just to help with this. Stitch 2. And get stitch 3. Alright, now that I have a couple to hold on to, it's a little easier to pick up. And stitch 4. And it doesn't say, it says like kind of the general location of where to pick them up. It doesn't say like what arrangement. So I've been trying to knit, like pick them up in like a kind of a curve of a cat ear, so they're not too straight across, but there's a little bit of some definition there. Alright. So then you turn your work, do the same thing where you just knit across. And keep pulling my end there, and then what did I do after that? Alright, then I decrease, knit 2 together. Cool. So yeah, this part is super quick because I mean, once you pick them up, you don't do much with the ears. You just make little triangle, little nubby things on the top of the ear, or the top of the body. But when you have to knit two together and they're kind of just floating there, it does get difficult to really wiggle your needle to get through. And so I would suggest for sure, even though it's splitty, using like a metal needle, maybe not even the carbons because they're not like really sharp, but something sharp so you can really get into those needles or into those loops. Okay, now that I have everything, I can break my yarn, and then I just have to run it through a couple times. Oh yeah, that's a cat ear. That looks a lot better. Can you see? Probably not. It's pokey. I don't think it's gonna focus, but it has more of a point that's going this way now. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. This way. So now the other one should curve this way, so there are two cat ears that are kind of like this, just a little bit. So like before, I will pick up my 4 stitches in generally the same location of this one. This is all kinds of science, it seems. So we got one. I'll just leave him hanging for a little bit. And we need to pick up 2. And I'm thinking, you know, if we keep them a little spread out, then I'll make a bigger ear. Oh, darn it. Split my yarn again. Let's try it again. Here we go. Thinking once I have the second one, it'll be, yeah, easier. So you see how, let me scoot back. You see how this was like kind of tricky working on this the other night because of all of the little pieces you have to worry about and try to hold on to while you're working, which is harder to do than I thought. So now we're just knitting ours together. Making sure not to split our yarn. Perfect. Now I can break it. Right there. And run it through. tug and then run it through one more time. Yeah. Okay, not quite the shape I wanted, but it's still cute. So we have two little ears, and I'll take another picture of both of them side by side, and that'll be the thumbnail. So we've done the ears, we've made the eyes. The next step is either the nose or the legs. Okay, it's actually going to be the legs, and we already did the legs, so we can go ahead and run those through. So here's a leg, just a little piece of I-cord. I put a knot on the bottom. That's going to be the back foot. And so we'll take the end that's the front and run that through. And it does tell you where to put it, so I kind of remember. So this part, you just have to look at the bottom. It's kind of in, and it's kind of to the side, and it's supposed to come out under the ear, I think. Yeah, just under the ear. So we have it, and I pull it on through. It's supposed to, there we go. Yay. Alright. So now we have the little leg, front and back leg, and now I'll do the same thing for the other side. So I have my other leg, and I have the knot. That is the back. And the front leg is the one that you pull through. Eep. There's like a trick. You have to wrap your yarn over your needle so it's kind of flat. Then you should be able to run it through the eye, but I cannot. To like push it a lot. It's really, darn it. To really give it a good lick so it's a little bit flatter. There we go. So like before, I'll just line up the entry point, run it through, under the ear, a little more than that, just under. Oh, I had to keep it straight too. There. Nope, maybe not. One more. There we go. And pull. Yay. Alright, so now we have all the legs and little danglies everywhere. But now I can do another piece, which is the tail. Yes. So tail, how many am I picking up? Pick up and make 3 stitches. And then 24 rows of I-cord. So we'll grab our trusty yarn and we'll turn our kitty cat so his bottom is in the air. And I have to okay. Gives you an idea of where, but it doesn't tell you like how far. Alright, come on, you. You may have noticed that it is a different outfit, different makeup look and everything, and that is 100% correct because it has been 2 days since my video had cut off. My battery died and then the other one was still charging, so I wasn't even able to film. It was late at night. I was just totally like, forget it. Let me just work on this cat another day. And Sunday I had this killer headache, so I pretty much just slept all of Sunday to just kind of get my head back to normal, and now it's Monday. I'm on my lunch break from my working from home situation and thought I would knock out the last bit of our kitty cat. So where we got cut off was exactly where I was. I was doing the I-cord tail, and we're just gonna finish this guy up and then work on the embroidery of the nose and the whiskers, and that should wrap us up for the most part. I'll still have to do the decoration, well, not the decorations. I'll still have to sew, or not even really sew in the ends, but just tuck them into the body so they're not dangling everywhere. But I'll do that when I'm done, and then of course you've seen the thumbnail of both finished kitty cats now that they're together at last and both are finished. I will say, as I speak with you now, some of my takeaways are that it is a fun, cute project. It's easier than I'm probably making it sound just because of my patience, dexterity, lack probably of vision, the fact that my needles are not really sharp, and this yarn is kind of, well, it's not even kind of, it's very splitty, so it's hard to get all the loops on your needle when you need to do your knit. And I would say because it's so tiny, it's just kind of hard to maneuver and hold it at the same time you're doing your work. But, you know, I think with some more practice with this, since now that I have purchased the kit, I have the pattern, I can apply it to various yarns and maybe work a step up from lace weight so that I can work with some scrap sock yarn that I have, or even go on with some DK / sport weight that I have left over from some other projects and just make them again, but a little bigger, and see if I have better luck with that. But overall, it's very cute. I am going to visit Mochimochi Land in the near future once everything's calmed down, and I've done some more knitting with my other projects that I have. I'm going to look at the site again and take a look at some of the other kits that are available to purchase, and then add some more, like I mentioned earlier with the gnomes. Probably get the gnomes, and not maybe the smallest size, but the next size up, and just some other little cute kits that would be fun, little gifts for friends and things based on their interests, and then go from there. I mean, I think it's a very fun way to pass the time if you want to work on something really little and really quick, and you have some stuffing and you want to reuse this pattern again, then I'd say go for it. And since it's a small business, I believe it's just one lady who does these kits, I don't mind it, spending the money to help a small business and just to have something fun to work on. So I like it. It's tricky for me, but I think the end result is cute, even if my cats are wonky. And now that I know how to embroider, at least where to start the yarn, so it's not like a free end of yarn sticking out of a spot I don't want exposed, I will make a better cat the next time. And who knows, I might even, since I have a little bit of stuffing left, I might be able to crank out another kitty for my work friend who really liked. We were doing this auction over the holiday, and I brought in some stuff to donate to the auction, and I have these cat legs. They're like little socks you put on like your table leg or chair leg. They're just little feet, and she really liked them, so she bid on the basket that had them in there, and I honestly don't know if she ended up winning that basket or not, but when I brought them for her to assemble, she's like, "These are just so cute." I was like, "Yeah, I have some that I use at home, but because I have cats, they get fuzzy really fast and not in a good way." So I took them off my chairs I had downstairs and thought, hey, maybe I could make my own one day. So I just have them still, but the ones I gave to the auction I hadn't used yet because they were ginger cat feet, and I used the gray and the black cat feet to go with the theme of my downstairs. And I don't have anything orange, so I didn't use the orange feet, but anyway, that's what's going on. It's been a weekend. It's been a morning. But I was just so bummed that I was having so many troubles getting this video out to you guys. I have, as you know, or as you may remember hearing me say, that I have done a lot of pre-recording videos to have on a schedule to post up through the week, and my videos actually end tomorrow, which is Tuesday. The 31st is the last day of videos I have already on the schedule. So tonight, Monday night, I have to edit and upload the rest overnight so that they continue on the rest of the week. And my partner, who is an avid video game player, has pretty much commandeered the bandwidth of the internet through the evenings, and he was very upset because I was uploading one night, and He's like, what are you doing? Why is the internet so slow? I was like, well, I'm uploading one video. And he's like, well, you're going to have to cut that out because I'm busy playing a game. And I'm like, oh. I was like, no. So I had to wait. And then I got sidetracked. So by the time they were done playing the game and I went to upload again, it was late. So I'm going to try to do the editing and converting like during dinner and stuff so that by the time I need to upload, I just go boom, 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 upload them while we're sleeping, and they should be done in the morning. So then when they are at work and I am at work, they will have already done their thing and are ready for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe even Saturday uploading. Alright, so now we have our, you could see him, maybe not, I'm trying to get like a background of, there we go. So on my shirt you can see the tail is pretty long now, so I can cut my yarn, and I don't need it anymore. I don't want it to be, I can make it kind of long. And now I just need to get my fancy embroidery needle and run my loop through, I think just once. I think I only have to do, yep, just one loop through the stitches. You know, all of my tapestry needles are straight, and when I was watching Susan B. Anderson, who is the kind woman, I am linking her YouTube video to in my description, so just to give her credit for the fact that she helped me figure out how to do the eyes and everything else with the embroidery part of this project. She's using like a tapestry needle with like a little curve at the top. And I've seen them, and I'm like, well, I already have quite a few different ones, but I'm thinking more and more that having a little, and maybe just a couple with a curve on it, will be helpful to certain projects, especially when you gotta kind of get in there and don't quite have the dexterity to get your needle into whatever you're knitting. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get my imaginary wish list going of some stuff to buy once everything's kind of calmed down and I feel like I can spend on silly things and not necessities. Though I don't think knitting's too silly, but something that I don't actually like need to live my life. I'll get some of those too, along with my locking stitch counter and all the other stuff that I wanted. Gosh darn. Okay. I'm trying to get this little bit of yarn nice and pokey so I can run it through this eye, and it doesn't want to cooperate with me. Ooh, gosh darn it. That's probably the trickiest. I remember when I was a kid and my aunt who sews, who made me the made my partner the Pikachu and all of my pillows and my pillows, yes, the pillows, the kitties. Her vision, I think she's farsighted, but I remember when I was younger, she would ask me to help her eye her needles when she would thread her needles, and I always thought I was like so cool because I could do it and she couldn't, but really I feel like I'm not that far off and I am nearsighted. So, what does that say about me? Okay. Now I have run my... Ah, that's dangerous. I just dropped my needle somewhere. Thankfully it's not like super sharp, but I don't want to hurt myself. Oh, wait, no. Where did it go? Oh, I'm gonna have to get up. I don't want to. Oh, I heard it. Found it. Oh, it was tucked somewhere in my shirt. And where was I? Oh yes, I was going to weave my bit of tail string back into the tail. Just so it's out of the way. Gotta get it in there. That's one nice thing about I-cord is that you can run your yarn through the middle and it really kind of just hides itself in there. No one would know. Yay. Cool. So now the tail is tucked in. I'm gonna hold off on the rest for now, just so that I can do the face part. So now that we have that done, we still have like the front of it to do. So we have our tail and we need to do the nose and the whiskers. So I'll get my pink yarn out of here, and just like with the eyes, I need to make 2 lines across the face, and the instructions say that they should be a little bit over the hole where it all meets up. So basically just doing like I did before, but now that it's been a couple days I kind of remember, so I am going to make my loop, run it through the eye, and then I'm going to tie one end of this knot here. And then once I get it tied, perfect. Alright, so now that I have my knot tied on one side, I'm going to just run it through a little. See if I can find one of the grooves here. That's gonna work. Slide it up and over. So it's kind of like not tight enough, but I'm going to hold it in one spot and then I'm going to run my little line across and then out. I'll give it a little tug and I'll run it once more and then out. Cool. All right, so now I have my nose. You probably can't see, but it's right in the middle. And of course, you're gonna see in the final picture how cute everybody is. Or at least how cute I hope they are. They're special. They're mama's special babies. So just gonna cut the little bits off here. And I'll take my needle and poke the bit in that's kind of showing, so it's hidden. Now the final part is the whiskers. And I'm going to stop this because I don't think I have enough time before it cuts out. So 1 second. I don't have as much white. It doesn't seem like I have as much white, but that's okay because I only have 2 little whiskers that I have to do. Well, 4 essentially. And I think if I do one really long rope, then I don't have to cut my yarn that much. So I'm gonna tie 2, well, nah, I'll just do 1 knot because if it's too bulky it won't hide very well because this yarn is the same thickness as the yarn I'm knitting the body with, but I just pulled the 1 knot really tight, so maybe I can do another one on top of it. And I could probably just tuck it in really well once I finish. So now we're going to run we'll do 1 whisker like just below the eye. So we'll put it like kind of far back so that it comes through just below the eyeball. Like that. Then I'll pull on the excess. See how that goes. All right. So now I'll put my whisker like right by the nose. And where's it gonna come out? Okay. We'll have it come out right on the other side of the nose, like that. And then under the other eye. And then by the other nose, by the other side of the nose. And then I still need more slack. So I need to pull on the right one. There we go. So now I'm pulling on the extra string that I have coming off of this bobbin-like thing. Tugging on it. Okay. Let's try tugging on it some more. Ah, there we go. Got it. This is like a science. That's crazy. And now I can go back in and over. And then in and out. Yay! I feel like this, he looks more like a mouse to me than a cat, but because they both have whiskers, they both have tails. I don't know. I know he's a cat though, but darn it, looks like a mouse to me. But that is okay. So now I'll just cut all of that. Let me see, which one should I cut? Where is the one? Okay. I was trying to be sneaky and pull just the right bit of string, but I didn't. So I have to cut them all, which I guess is okay. And then I will poke it back in to hide it a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, so we are pretty much finished now. Let me just tuck in all of these loose ends, just poke them back in the body, because that is what the instructions say to do, is to weave the ends into the body, but as long as they're in there, no one's gonna see them. And it's not like it's a toy that's really supposed to get roughed around a lot, so no one will really mess with it too much. At least I'm not going to. So I think this will be fun to do, like, with the little bit I have left. I also have some yarn fluff from that horrible yarn that I used for my friend's hat. I could use that as I could probably use that as stuffing, as long as I sew it up tight so it doesn't like fly out everywhere. See how squishy it is, how well it works. I think my coworkers might appreciate that as a kind of like, oh well, we were all kind of cooped up in our houses, but after we got out, our good friend made us some welcome back to work toys. Oopsie. That's the one thing though, it's because they are small. There's so many little tiny ends to worry about. Alright. I don't know, I feel like even though this is pretty tedious, it's still easier than weaving in the ends of like a scarf or a sweater or something like that. Like, I feel like this is more manageable for me, even though it's kind of a pain because there's so many little teeny bits. We are almost done. Just a few more little loose ends. But I always think, like, when I do one project one time and then do it again, I learn so much. And I think because this one went so quickly, I still have a lot to learn. I think as far as like what kinds of techniques I could do. And how to maneuver around such a small project. Put that through I don't know if you guys can hear all of the craziness, but this afternoon has been a lot of activity just with my neighbors being here, and I guess because it's also the middle of the day, everyone's awake and doing stuff versus like later in the evening. But you know, you hear the dogs, hear my partner talking to their gamer friends downstairs online. Just the sounds of the outside, which I thought it would be pretty dead, but apparently some people don't want to follow rules, guidelines, and want to be out and about. And it was just like a nerve-wracking, well, I didn't say nerve-wracking, but a uncertain experience when I went to the store on Saturday. Yeah, that's right. I was gonna go on Friday, but by the time I got done with my web meeting and had to like rapidly email people afterward, it was kind of too late to go to the store then. So we went on Saturday evening. And that was an interesting experience. And I think today, because this was actually just supposed to be Fridays, or not Friday, Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, but then Fridays didn't happen. A video, oh, whoa, what did I just do? I'm not supposed to do that. That needs to be tucked in closer to the ear. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I still have another video. This doesn't count because this is the rest of the other one that you're watching where I had to start another day, same video, different day, and I have some other content to show you guys later. So you will see one more video of me dressed as I am, but it'll probably be darker because there's just a little glimmer of daylight coming through. It's still a pretty cloudy day, but it's early in the afternoon and I still have another video to show you guys. But at least I'm glad I got part of this done today because I have to share this room and coordinate with my partner. Well, you know what? Now that all the bits are sewed in, it does look more like a kitty than it did before. Let me see. I'm probably going to make myself blurry. Let me see if I can make this not blurry. Nope. Let's see. Can this do it? So pressing the on-off button does not do any focus work. I was trying to get this to focus, but that just zooms stuff in. Nope. Nope. Well, there is a kitty cat that I'm holding and not just a blurry bit, and now that I've sewed in the ends, he's actually pretty cute. Still doesn't look like the picture, but cute. And where's his buddy? Let me get his buddy. So I can't really see too well, but attempt number 1. You know, something about this ear that's just kind of like tilting like this. Man, I wish... Oh no! I wish that my camera would be able to focus when they're close, because you can't see them when they're kind of like this far away. But there's so much detail here. So I'm going to insert a video clip. I'm going to add to this video with a little pan view of my kitties so you can see what they look like close up, because the thumbnail is just going to be like them cute and posing, but to actually look at all the detail, I'm just going to kind of rotate them around and stuff so you can see what they look like in kitty cat form. But you see my hand, well, my hands are kind of big, but you see how tiny they are when they're fitting in my hand like this. So a lot of the little Mochimochi Land toys or figurines are this small. Some are a little bit bigger, but they're mostly around this size. So I think they're going to be cute little desk buddies for me. Oh, wouldn't that be cute if I like made some into into earrings? Oh, I'm just thinking of like what more can I do to practice this pattern and make something really cute to kind of sit on my desk. And even though, you know, I did use quite a bit of the gray, and so I might not have quite enough to make another half cat with the rest of the orange that I have like I originally thought. But now that I have the pattern, and I went to the Mochimochi Land site, or I didn't, I bought these at a yarn store, but since they have the website, Anna Hrachovec is the creator. So Mochimochi Land Patterns, go to her business site, find a pattern or 2 or 3 or 4 that you like, and then you can buy more. So I like it. It's cute, it's quick. I'm just a challenged person and had a lot of struggle times with this, but if you're pretty flexible with your hands, have a great eye, like to and are used to using lace weight or very thin, I mean, I really don't think it's sock. It feels a lot thinner than sock, so I'm thinking it's lace, but it's thin and you're working with it, but you make a really cute, quick project if you have the dexterity and the patience, and those are 2 things I don't have, but I want to keep practicing because I really do like the pattern. I think it's really cute, and I'm going to check out more of her stuff once I'm done with my other projects I have. So thanks for listening to me. There's a lot of dead silence. There was a lot of struggles and stuff like that, but I made it through. I got 2 whole cats done, and I think that was the fastest project I've ever worked on with you guys, so there's a couple wins there. But I'll actually catch you this afternoon in a new video, but by the time you see it, there'll probably be a day or 2 that have passed. And with that being said, I hope you're staying safe where you are, and you have people and things to keep you busy during this crazy time. And I do appreciate you tuning in, listening to me, working on your own project, and just passing the time with me. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.